Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm wearing the exact same pulley, and there are some women in this house. Ooh, oh my gosh. So, so guys, I was asked about these two videos, not back to back, but in a very close space of time, and so I'm just gonna compile it and try to make it as short as possible. This video, um, one of the questions that I was asked was in regards to the I don't even know where to start. Should I start with the Grammy performance by Cardi B and Megan Stallion, and or the video itself? Like, where do I, anyways? Okay, so the video from the Grammys, the performance, the Grammy performance that Cardi B did this year, 2021, was being talked about by Candace Owens on The Breakfast Club, I think it was. I'm not too sure. And she said something that I personally agree with. And Russell Brand also was saying something that I also agree with. Like, as a generation who listen to gangster rap music, I'm talking about Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg and Queen Latifah, not in that order, but I'm really used to a different style of rap. And ever since rap has gone mainstream, in my opinion, it has gotten a little bit more derelict, if you want to use that terminology. But, or should I? No, I'll say but not much has really changed. Like, the reason why I was listening to Candace Owens' conversation at the Breakfast Club, I think it is, was because they were talking about how Cardi B had gotten Woman of the Year by I don't know who and why. I'd also like to know why she was considered Woman of the Year, considering that there are a lot of other Black women out there who are doing a lot of other things. I'm not saying that Cardi B is not holding it down from somebody who went from being a stripper to a successful businesswoman. The fact of the matter is that she sells sex, and that's not anything new in the rap game. That it has always been like that for the most part. Rappers are selling sex. That's and we don't have. I'm saying we, like I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Um, no, I'm saying that I identify with rap culture, and a lot of that has to do with having been big in the urban life. And I say that very politically correctly because I don't want people to think that because I'm black, that means that I have to identify with rap. I don't listen to as much rap as I used to. I've become a little bit more culturally based, like more into my own culture, my Latin American Caribbean culture. That's what I mean. I mean, like, not to say that rap is not culture, but my own, like, regional culture where I come from. And so that's one of the reasons I don't listen to rap anymore. But I did have a time in my life where my daughter is at right now, where rap was a big part of how I identified as a person, as a woman. And I grew out of that. And my parents, my mother, and my grandmother, well, they weren't having that. Like, you wasn't gonna be listening to no kind of rap music, no, and I'm saying it like this with this broken up English because, you gotta say it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm an English teacher. They are not having that rap music in the house under any circumstances. And so, they were not gonna buy me any CDs. At that time it was CDs. Before that it was cassettes, and they were not going to get any of that for me. Um, but I would sit by the tape. I would sit by the radio very attentively, take my tape recorder, and record those songs. And I know my husband used to do the same thing too here in Germany when he was growing up. Now we've come full circle where we hear this stuff that my daughter listens to, and we're like, what the is this garbage, but looking back at, rappers that we listen to, it's not really that different or any revolutionary. So my question is, why did she get Woman of the Year? For what exactly? And who decided that that was something that was afforded to a person who sells sex as a commodity, as a part of their image? I mean, that's not to me a revolutionary concept, and that's the only thing that I am questioning when it comes to her thing. Um, her grinding up on, whatever the performance was, it wasn't like people were making it out to be like, wow, oh my gosh. But didn't Madonna kiss Britney Spears a couple of years ago? I think it was even before I had my daughter. It was like over a decade ago. Can you guys comment in the description box below if you know exactly when Madonna had kissed Britney Spears, which is more tasteful. I don't really see any. It would be more revolutionary for me if she had come out with a message for women or men or people of our diaspora, because if I'm not mistaken, her father's from Trinidad, talking about growing up as an immigrant in the United States, or what it's like to be a person of color, a woman of color, or what it's like to be a female rapper in the industry. Like some real shit that we can actually discuss as a people that really affects our well-being and our like I'm not I don't even know why I spent 6 minutes trying to have this conversation, because to me it's like, I'm really putting myself out there to be hated on because I'm talking about this. Like, I don't like Cardi B, but I have a couple of Cardi B songs. But there was definitely a cringe moment, because there is a difference between, and I get it, as a person who puts themselves out there, I have had to have I have had to have those candid conversations with my husband and with my older daughter about, look, mommy has done a couple of things in her past. She has a history, and she's definitely going to be talking about those things on her social media platforms where she's going to be judged, and you don't want to be hearing about those things for the first time when you come on my YouTube channel or from a third party. So here's the deal. This is who I am, and this is what I've done. And so if you're cool with me talking about that in public, then let's go. And so I don't want to be one of those people that's like, this is, this and this and this. But I feel like if somebody were to come to me and say, can you run for office, political office, I would be like, no, because I know there's some very questionable photos of me out there with me doing things that I'm going to have to explain, or would have had to explain to my children had I not had these candid conversations. And that's a choice that I make, putting myself in that public domain. But I don't want to put myself in those public domains, because I don't think that I'm the best person for such a job based on the past that I have had. And I've heard from a lot of people like, oh, that's what makes you the perfect person. But we're not gonna get into that in this video. We're gonna leave that for the Patreon. If you guys want to listen to some of my storytelling from my dating days, then we can get into that. So the second person is Lil Nas. You know what? I almost don't want to have this conversation, and let me tell you why. Because there is nothing that I can say, absolutely nothing actually, that will make this conversation easy or okay. It's gonna put me on either side of the bench. Like, either I'm ultra conservative or ultra liberal, and I shouldn't be doing that. My daughter and I, yes, just to answer the question fully, and you can end this video right here if you feel like ending it and not caring too much about how we responded or reacted. My daughter and I watched the video. All right. Call Me by Your Name, and I had gotten a spoiler about what the video was. I was just like, there is no way that this video was this ridiculous. And I saw a clip, like a picture of him in the boots, and I'm sorry, y'all, I died. I couldn't almost pee myself. I was laughing my head off. Like, he just looks so funny. Like, not that I'm making fun of cross-dressers or transgender or whatever the terminology is nowadays to define any of what he did in the video. I just thought it was hilarious the way he slid down that pole. It was just like, he really did that. He really did that. If I were to slide down a pole in some hooker heels that are thigh high, I would probably laugh at what I look like too, because that's my go-to emotion for out of the box things. Is it unique and strange and different from anything I've heard in this genre of music? No. And I don't want to say that I won't even mention the rapper, but I have heard this devil conversation in more than one rap video and rap song too. Not that the video had anything to do with the music, but the concept is pretty much the same. And I could remember growing up having heard that from two rappers that maybe y'all could put them in the description box below if you can remember who I'm talking about, where they were like talking about having a conversation with the devil or being friends with the devil because they were doing some really ratchet shit that had nothing to do with being gay or straight or whatever. And also, somebody's gonna come for me when I say this. He's not the first gay rapper. There are a lot of rappers out there in the past who have said some pretty gay stuff, like I'm into my homies, I'm not into my girls, or my homies over my hoes. Like they even made fun of that in Boondocks. And so Little Nas' response to what people think about him coming out. First of all, it's really difficult to come out in such a homophobic culture that I feel, as a black woman growing up in Central America, we're very homophobic, and I think that what he did was extremely. It took a lot of courage, Did it have to go to that level? Probably not, but I think that when you're in the entertainment industry, there's a very fine line between this is what I want the young people to understand. There's a fine line between what it is you will and will not do for attention and money and fame. And every celebrity has had to have that, have had to have, why do I keep using the perfect future tense? Every celebrity have had to have had that discussion with themselves and with the people around them about what it is they're willing and not willing to do for this attention that they're going to be getting in any realm of these, entertainment departments, sections, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's a part of your job to get the people's attention. So naturally, they have to be even more outrageous and outlandish in their performances if they want people to look at them and have to discuss them. Then they have to make it worth their while. Even the people who are viciously or violently or strongly against this kind of thing have come to me and have asked me, what do you think about this or that or the other? Or maybe it's just here in America, but you have to understand American culture is pretty much a global culture at this point. And everywhere people listen to American music. And pop culture, that's why it's called pop culture. It's short for popular. We do get a lot of influences for that. And it's no different here than it is in the States in terms of how influential music is to the younger generation. And saying that just makes me want to say that as a young person, as a consumer, and as a person who's consuming this content, if you're watching this, you have to be aware of your power of marketability and don't drink the Kool-Aid. Resist the temptation to look at things that you don't want to be a part of, or you don't support. And I know that's very difficult because it's very tempting. You want to be up to breast and you want to know what's being said and all of that. But at the end of the day, you can't unsee certain things that go keep you up at night. Like, I'm never going to get that back. I won't get back that innocence, So, he's doing it because that's part of his job, is to get people's attention. And it's part of his job to get people thinking and talking and feeling about him either for or against. You will see that in politics as well. And I'm not surprised, but I'm also not a person that's going to minimalize people's reaction to him and support him in saying that, well, you need to parent your children better so that they don't buy my music or feel like wearing hooker heels to school is a thing. It's your job to parent. Yes, it is our job to parent, and it is also our jobs as responsible people, like wearing a mask. We all have to do our social conscious part of making sure that we are being thoughtful in the content that we make and how we make it. So, see you again next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and leave your comments down below. Bye.